When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. RhythmFM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. RhythmFM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. RhythmFM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos,
It is time for Dear Louie on Rhythm 93.7 FM. Uh, have you noticed how social media reacts whenever something big happens? A celebrity passes away, there's a tragedy, someone shares a painful story, and within minutes, the timelines are filled with, hashtags, repost, prayers, and opinions. For a moment, it feels like everybody cares. And then a few days later, the hashtags disappear, the conversations fade, and we move on to the next trending topic. Like that never happened. And it makes you wonder, did we really care? Or did we just want people to know that we cared? Now, don't get me wrong, social media has done incredible things. It's raised awareness, amplified, important voices, and even inspired real change. But it also is giving us something to think about, and that's virtue signaling. The idea that sometimes we're just as concerned with looking compassionate as we are with actually being compassionate. So this evening on Dear Louis, we're asking, where do we draw the line between raising awareness and performing compassion? And joining me for this conversation, I've got Iyengi with me, and today we're going to explore what social media has done to the way that we care, we speak, and we show support. Hello, good evening, Iyengi. Welcome to Dear Louie. Hello, are you there? All right,
Good evening, good evening. Sorry, I was muted. Good evening. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm here.
all right. Welcome to Dear Louie. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay, now, so social media has changed the way that we communicate, the way that we show support, and even the way we react to world events. Do you think it's also changed the way we care?
Yes, I think it actually changed. It has changed the way we care. They say the world is a global village. We've been saying this a long time before we even got the internet. And the internet and social media has made it even smaller. We've seen a few people because of a few people's lives has changed because of social media. It has a way of stoking emotions in us as human beings,
Mm,
either anger, love, empathy.
mm,
It kind of amplifies the way we feel in real life.
mm,
When you see a community of people you respect talking
mm.
about a particular issue, pay more attention to it. If they are angry, you will even get angrier. If they are happy about it, you get
Yes,
happy.
yes.
If they are, we've done a lot of crowdfunding things on the internet where you see people's bills being paid, sorry. Somebody like I think Mommy G at some point, her life did a complete 180 turn because people felt empathy for her, people
Who is
supported
Mommy
her
Gio?
because she woke up.
Sorry.
Mommy G or so, some lady on the internet a few years ago that woke up by 4 a.m. to cook for her husband,
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
then it
okay,
became a
okay. The
national
Twitter lady.
sensation. Exactly. And then we've seen some people, bills are being paid, lots of things. So it kind of amplifies the way we feel. I think social media has a way of amplifying what we feel and the way we react. So anger is amplified, love is amplified, empathy is amplified. No matter how you say whether it's real or it's fake, but everything is amplified, especially now that social media is being monetized. Somebody wants to be the loudest, so people will hear you the most, people will click, retweet, repost, share, whatever. So I think everything is amplified, the good and also the bad.
All right. So we hear virtue signaling a lot these days. What does it mean to you? I mean, in your own words, in your own terms.
Well, I think it's when people want to sound a certain way, to play to the gallery. For example, you might not necessarily believe in something, but you want people to maybe see you as a good person. You want people to see you as, oh no, I can't do that kind of thing. Or the trending topic now is being somebody who supports women, or you're a feminist or something. No, just anything that I think you want people to see your virtue. I'm a good person. Oh, I cannot steal even if you keep your phone or your money in front of me. I will, even if you're a thief, you just want to signal that you have virtues, even virtues that you don't believe in. Personally, I'll say, if I'm supposed to do business with somebody or work with somebody, and the first thing you're trying to do is convince me that you are a good person, you are a good Christian, it's already a red flag. This is me personally. It's already a red flag for me, because I believe people who are good, they don't need to display, they don't need to convince the next person, because it's part of their character, part of their core, it's part of who they are. They just live their lives, and you see that this person indeed has certain core principles that are good, or this person is a straightforward person, this person is a truthful person. But when you have to go the extra mile to start convincing me, oh, I'm a good person, or I'm a Christian, or me, I believe in God, or it means that you're trying to cover something else, you're trying to distract me. So I think those people who virtue signal are actually trying to prove a point, trying to make people believe something. They're trying to play to the gallery, because if you're who you are, you just say what you want to say your piece, support who you want to support, and then your core principles will show in your digital footprint. You're not going to forget what you said about an issue, because what I said about an issue 10 years ago is still what I believe in today. If it comes up, I'll still say the same thing. Nothing has changed, except I was wrong a few years ago and I've learned. But basically, my core principles are my core principles. What I believe in is that I'm not playing to any gallery. So I'm just saying, signaling, virtue signaling is when you're trying to posture, you're trying to pander, you're trying to make people believe because you think it scores you some social points or whatever.
All right. So, is it always intentional, or can people do it without realizing that they are doing it?
Of course, people can, especially young people who are very impressionable. When you spend a lot of time on social media, you find out that it's filled with clicks. You get rolled in this click, in this bubbles that sometimes you're not even aware of. And then when you see that the people that maybe you have regard for, the people you like, the people you admire, the people you respect, are saying certain things or believe in certain things, you want to also show
Solidarity.
solidarity with that, yeah, with that group, and say, oh yeah, this is actually what I also believe in. This is actually what I identify with, even if it's not your core. That is why at some point you see some people have contradictory digital footprint, because they were virtue signaling and that's not what they are, or that's what they want to portray online, and in their real life is contradictory, and it can get you into trouble because you might be posturing something, saying something, and then people meet you outside that space and they're like, but this is not what this person, people get caught in that way, but she's a feminist online, but outside she's this, or he's supposed to be somebody that does this online, but outside he's, those kinds of narratives, and it can get you in murky waters. So it's best to just be who you are, own yourself, and don't get yourself carried away in this bubble where you're not yourself. You are conversing and putting stuff out there to impress people.
All right, now. So, at what point does raising awareness cross the line into, performance?
You say?
At what point does raising awareness, supporting these people you mentioned now online, cross into performance?
Well, I think it's one, when it's not maybe what you believe in. Two, right now the social media space is crazy, in the sense that people get monetized now. So before, virtue signaling was towards the more positive parts, you understand. Right now it's towards where I can get the highest clicks, the highest views, the highest subscriptions. So it's not positive anymore. When it was positive, it used to irritate people. Now you can imagine now that it's tending towards negativity. It's even dangerous to be signaling towards negative virtues, and I don't know why signaling towards negative virtues actually doesn't irritate people as much as signaling towards positive virtues. I don't see anybody saying, "Oh, you're negatively virtue signaling." We always attack those who are, because I think maybe generally people just hate deception, and they believe that if you're a bad person, you're only yourself. If you're a good person, you're virtue signaling. Another problem is, let's not attack people all the time. Some people are naturally good, some people are good natured, some people believe in certain things, this is who they are. But because we've coined the word virtue signaling and it's a big thing now, somebody cannot just be he or herself. I remember somebody a guy posted, "I've never had an STI in my life," and everybody is attacking him. I'm like, what kind of life do you live that you think everybody living and breathing should have an STI?
Oh my
There are
God, please,
millions
please,
of
please
people,
hold that thought.
millions
Just
of people.
that's really interesting, and I want us to get into that because that's very, very interesting. We gotta pay bills, and I'll be back. Okay, City of Lagos, please stick around. Want to pay a bill and trust that we'll be back, and we'll continue conversation here on Dear Louis.
Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you everywhere.
This is 93.7 FM Lagos, and we're talking about virtue signaling here. And I've got Yengi with me, and we've been talking a lot on this. Hi, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
Hello?
Yengi. So yes, hi. We're back
Yeah.
now. We're done, paying bills. So we're talking about virtue signaling, and we stopped at a very interesting conversation where you said that this guy mentioned that he's never had an STI before, and people were coming for him, and you were thinking, okay, so what sort of life have you people been living that you could not even believe that somebody has never had an STI before? So that's where we left off.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was my thinking, and it actually got me thinking about this whole virtue signaling thing, because we are so sensitive to it. Somebody posts his own life, and we're attacking it because, one, you think it's wrong, you think it's virtue signaling, but you're just saying, because there was conversations around STIs and a lot of these experiences, so we could not relate to it, and he stated it's freedom of expression, and he got attacked. So my problem is, let's not be so sensitive to virtue signaling that we shut down people who are just saying who they are, what they think, and their own life experiences, because we think it's a virtue signal, just because we've lived and experienced life differently. I think the social media space is where it's not that like free speech is being threatened, but freedom of thought is being threatened. Like, they want to control. Everybody wants to control what everybody's saying. There has to be a consensus on morals, a consensus, even of political beliefs these days. You're supporting this person. Oh, it is for this reason. It's a virtue signal. If I say I'm supporting this particular person, you're trying to pander. You're trying to act like you're a good person because, So I think that while virtue signaling might be irritating, and sometimes people actually do it to pander, people do it to build trust, and that is also dangerous. Some people have been known to do that, especially for within the feminist group. You see some men virtue signaling, oh, women should not be this, oh, men that do this, and then you build this trust within that sector, that circle. Women trust you, then you now start the hunt to look for the ones that you prey on, because you've already disarmed them with your virtue signaling. So they feel, oh, this person is an ally, this person is this. When you get into that circle, you hit them hard. So I think people should just be sensitive. Let's not overdo things. Yes, it's good to be sensitive to people who are deceptive, but let's not overdo it. You understand? It's good to know that. But let's not build a consensus around certain things that will being a normal good person a bad thing, and then we name every good person. So, oh, this person is virtue signaling. Like I think I remember somebody who said, another girl, a female, who was talking about not having sex or not visiting when you're dating, and she got attacked. Don't visit a male or don't have sex with the person you're dating till you get married. And she was attacked vehemently. She had to start talking about her own self. This is what she did. She had to even start posting her pictures. It's not because I'm ugly. They now said, oh, you will never marry. She posted that she was married. She was even living in Canada. She had her kids and everything. But that was her own core principle, but it was seen as virtue signaling and she was attacked.
Okay, so
So
basically you're
it's a
saying there is
two,
a
the two.
you're saying there is a
You are
positive
saying
side to it.
there's a, I don't know whether I would call it positive, but there should be acceptance of the fact that some people are just good natured. This is who they are. They're not trying to pander, they're not trying to virtue signal. This is their life's experience. There should be room for that too. And we should not tag everybody who is sounds like a good person as somebody who is virtue signaling or pretending or posturing. And then people should also be careful with regards to what they say and who they are pandering to. People should also be careful for those who virtue signal to disarm you socially, because oh, this person is such a good person, he's such a safe person, or she's such a safe person, and then you get into trouble because they virtue signaled you into disarming yourself. You just feel totally vulnerable in front of that person because you think you know the person based on what the things the person has said. But unfortunately, social media is not real life. So I'm just saying the conversation is very nuanced. Everybody should be careful. And as we say, social media is very, very slippery. You can virtue signal yourself into one corner of Nigeria where they will drag you to pieces. So everybody should just be careful and let's not overdo things, whichever area we find ourselves.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. Hi, Lavina. Hello, are you there? Our second guest has just joined. Good
Yes,
evening.
I'm here. Yeah,
Hi,
hi,
good
good
evening.
evening.
I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm good. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. So I've got Lavina and Iyangi, and we're talking virtue signaling. Thank you so much for joining us, Lavina. Are you there?
Can be.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, yes. So I would say in terms of, well, for me, I think case of, I think it has to do with our orientation as people because we really should resist the urge to judge each other no matter the issue. That's just my own opinion about it because if we always have to look at people and start judging them, I don't really think anyone is perfect out there. And every now and then there could be an issue. It could have perhaps it could have to do with adultery. It could and you hear people always taking one side or the other, whereas they can't be free from such, they're not perfect in this kind of situations. And you hear people always condemning whoever the mob attacks. I mean, it's like everybody just rushes to condemn who the mob attacks, and it's like the crowd decides, and once the crowd has made that decision, that's it. So I just feel like the urge to judge and to be more sympathetic. Perhaps we'll have less people always condemning people and being very critical of other people all the time. That's just what I think about this.
All right. So, how do we tell the difference between genuine advocacy and performative advocacy?
That's a very good question because we see some people online that just come and comment on the trending topic, and next thing everybody supports their opinion, and
Yes.
next everybody is following that person because of how dramatic he or she was. But I would say it has to do with human nature, and if we can, as people, we have the ability to decipher when somebody is being very dishonest or deceitful. It's something, if we just look clearly and even say anything, just observe, and you will see it yourself. Because these days a lot of things have been happening in this country, and there are so many commentators and so many people forming activists online, and I would say the if you want to just be able to clear that line between who is real and who is fake in terms of online activism, just watch that person closely. Just be more observant.
All right, Iyangi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perhaps you would get a clearer picture of the person's true character.
All right, thank you, Lovina. All right, now, Iyangi, previously you said a lot about, performing in public, and now we're now in the era of monetization, and people are just, going crazy. So would you say that a lot of people have lost themselves, have lost their principles just because of the views, the shares, the likes, the desire to be out there at the forefront, that they do not even care anymore as far as they're getting the coins? That is all that matters to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Iyangi, are you there?
No, that's
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, the network left for a while. No, no, I didn't.
All right, so I said earlier you spoke about
Hello?
monetization,
Yeah.
that we're in the era of monetization. So I'm saying that, would you say that, and you spoke about principles as well. So would you say a lot of people have lost their principles? They really and truly do not care as far as they say anything for virality, for the shares, the likes, the posts, they advocate for whatever, as far as they get the likes and then it's giving them that money, that, importance. They really do not care. They have lost themselves.
Yes, I think so. I think very well that people have lost themselves. I remember a young girl on X, formerly known as Twitter, posted that, people are talking about girls, women were talking about sexual harassment and assault, and somebody said, I think it was Thatcher, that said that there's hardly any female who hasn't passed through a form of sexual abuse, assault, harassment, and all of that. And this girl pounced on Thatcher on Twitter, attacked her. You are a fool. I have never been attacked before. Maybe it is that kind of very toxic attack. But somebody searched this particular person's profile and saw where she particularly stated she went to the market and somebody tapped her buttocks in the market. So because Thatcher, who is a social media influencer also, is trendy. People, if you insult Thatcher, you get lots of likes. So she jumped into that, forgetting herself was once a survivor of sexual assault and had posted it on social media. That is negative virtue signaling, because you're signaling to people who hate Thatcher. There are lots of them, and once you attack her for saying something right or wrong, people will support you, click, retweet, and that's it. And when people started telling her, but you said you were assaulted in the market, but look at the screenshot of you stating, she now said, in fact, she didn't even own up to her mistake. She was just looking for how to wriggle herself out of it. So, like, virtue signaling is not always about judging people that we perceive bad. Like I said, it goes both ways. Where somebody is saying something right, but because the clicks and the likes, and maybe you think that the wave is against that person, you're going to get to bash the person. So we need to be very sensitive to these things. And what the other speaker said, Lovina said, is very true. You just can't observe people you might not know. It's good to search. If you go to somebody's profile and search a keyword like maybe rape, molestation, or something, you will see from years back who that person really is. Because back in the day, people are not really accountable. People are just posting their thoughts, their original thoughts, before we got to this point, before we got into the bubbles of trying to impress some clicks, that kind of thing. People are just basically randomly posting their thoughts and their original thoughts. So you get to find who people are from their digital footprints. And sometimes, like I said, if you're posting, you're not posting based on your principles, you will forget what you said. You will forget, because you're pandering. Like this young girl, she forgot what she said not too long ago because she was just pandering and virtue signaling. So people forget. So it's not like they remember and they will go and say, oh, back and go and delete. They don't even know what they were saying because they've been virtue signaling. So it's easy to find those people out who have contradictory views and not to fall into whatever when they want to start advocating. Like you said, advocacy, when they start, you can see from behind them digital footprint. This person doesn't believe in this cause. This person is only doing it because this is trendy, or there's some form of financial benefit, like you said, for the clicks or for the social recognition of the cause. That is why they are pursuing it. So yeah, people should be very, very vigilant with regards to that.
All right, Iyangi. Thank you so much for that one. But right now, we have to pay another bill. And of course, when we come back, the conversation continues. Do not go anywhere, City of Lagos.
From your very first day in secondary school to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching.
And we're back, still here with Iyangi and Lovina, and we're talking virtue signaling. All right, Lovina, are you there?
Oh yes, I'm still here. Yes.
All right. So previously, Iyangi. So previously, Iyangi mentioned she said something about digital footprints and just keeping a clean digital footprint because you never really know, right? So would you say maybe influencers, public figures have the responsibility or the right to speak on social issues, or would you say they'd rather keep silent?
Okay, first of all, I like what Yangi said, and yeah, she did raise some very good points. But concerning people, especially influencers or celebrities speaking on these kind of issues, I feel I don't know I don't want to mention names, but let me just give an example of some people who in the past who gave their opinions on certain issues, and because they weren't so popular.
Sorry, please, can you move your baby away so that we can hear you properly, please?
Oh yes. So
thank you so much.
So can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
So sorry about that, please.
It's okay.
Yes. So I was going to say that concerning what the previous speaker mentioned, I think that those are very, very good points that she mentioned. And with a lot of celebrities, maybe in the past they weren't so popular, and the next thing they got very popular, and they seem to always forget. But to be truthfully and genuinely a very caring person, I believe whatever you say in the year 2004 and maybe this is 2026 and somebody decides to check back, what was this person's opinion on child molestation, perhaps this person is still saying the same thing or a different thing. That's how it's responsible, because they just believe, I can say this, maybe 10 years ago I was of this opinion, and 10 years later I've changed my mind about this kind of thing. And I think we need to hold them accountable, because a lot of people just do things because they think, yes, I have the money so I can say anything I want to say or do anything I want to do. But I think when they see that people are holding them to their words, both online and offline, I think they will check themselves, no matter the peer pressure or the need to just be a bit reckless. They will always check themselves. That's my thoughts on this.
All right,
you mentioned something else again.
Carry on, please.
No, I didn't get the last part of what you were saying again. You mentioned something else. I kind of got distracted.
Oh, yes. I was just talking about, influencers. Do you think it is right for influencers, public figures, and then I went ahead to mention, even regular people having a digital footprint to speak on certain issues, or you'd rather they just keep silent? I mean,
That's a very good. Yes,
sometimes.
yes, sometimes, not all the time. So, looking at the way the country is right now, I don't know about you, but for me, I would say 10 years back, the
Mm,
insecurity in Nigeria is not as bad as what we have right now. Like I
mm,
feel right now, it is terrible. It is scary. I love traveling in the past. I used to love
mm,
traveling to different states, both in the north and the south. I especially on road, because I meet more people when I travel by road as opposed to when I travel by air. And I
mm,
dare not travel by road nowadays because of the insecurity. And then traveling expensive nowadays, and you have to. Well, for me, I have to book like weeks ahead before I can get a very reasonable price for the tickets. But
mm.
if I'm just mentioning that if you are the type of person that keeps quiet, no matter what's happening in the country, you just look at it. It doesn't concern me. I'm all good. I think now is not the time for you to be keeping quiet. I think no matter what people say, just be able to put words out there. Don't be one of those sitting on
Hello?
affected. But seriously speaking, I am affected. I am very worried. And I feel everybody should be able to speak up, because when we all keep quiet, it makes when more people, especially influencers and celebrities, are speaking up, definitely it will make them not say, okay, we're not doing something right. We definitely have to make some positive changes because everybody is complaining. Like, for example, take the kidnapping that happened in Oyo State. I mean, so many people were always talking, even after 1 month plus, people were still talking. Eventually, they were released, and because people were talking repeatedly, everybody kept asking questions. And I do hope we get to see more releases of kidnapped school children across the country. But when more and more people keep speaking up, I think the results get delivered faster. That's just my own opinion.
All right. So you said something on accountability. Do you think we hold each other accountable enough? Do you think we hold these celebrities accountable enough?
No, we don't.
Mm,
We sometimes say this is my fave. So if I
mm,
like a particular celebrity and he's being very lukewarm on certain political issues or business issues or societal issues, I'll I might say, oh, this is my fave, and that should not be the case. I should just
mm.
go all out and say no, this is wrong or this is right, but in terms of doing things like that, like I said, human nature, we feel it's very easy for us to judge. It's such a simple thing. That's why I said we need to resist the urge to always judge. So yeah, we're not holding them accountable enough. And I think if we could be more diplomatic when it comes to these issues instead of just judging all the time. Maybe some people have their reasons why they don't want to speak out instead of just condemning or criticizing them. Just maybe eventually they'll speak up, but we're not holding them more accountable. And ones in politics, we need to hold them more accountable. The ones who say something different 10 years back and today they're saying something another thing entirely because of money. We need to always drive the point home. Let them keep seeing that vision. I don't know if you saw the interview of Daniel Bawa on Al Jazeera. So that's one person that he always needs to be reminded of his words like 3-4 years ago and what he's saying today. Just me like, giving an example anyway.
All right. Ingi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So if someone listening is wondering whether they've been guilty of virtual signaling, what questions should they ask themselves, maybe before
Hello, can you
posting
hear me?
online?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't quite get that. The network is a bit shaky now.
Hello,
Can you hear me
Ingi,
now?
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Now.
All right, all right, all right.
Hello?
Hi, Lovina. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
All right. So I was
Yes, I
asking
can hear you.
Ingi a question, actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So if someone listening is wondering whether they are guilty of virtue signaling, what questions should they ask themselves before they post?
I think I'll say this: if you're trying to change your mind on something that you had not so good opinion about, and you think you need to change because your new opinion you're forming is the right opinion, and you're beginning to believe, don't think you're virtue signaling. As the other speaker also said, people should be careful as how we judge people. Our lived experiences are all different. Somebody might choose to speak on something because of their own lived experiences, and of course, we should also understand and take into cognizance how what we say affects the next person. So those are the issues. Just basically have your principles. You know why I like free speech? I like free speech because it gives me an insight into who somebody is. On Bredo, the person is not thinking about consequence, and I can really say who you are. But if we start over policing people, some people, that's where the virtue signaling will start from. That's where the deception will start from. And then we don't get to know people. So free speech is important. Free speech can actually make you stop a terrorist, because the terrorist will openly free speech his plans or her plans. I'm going to blow your brains out. It's free speech. But because you freely giving us an insight as to what you can do, the law will respond accordingly to ensure that everybody is protected. And then I just wanted to say something about influencers speaking, or celebrities or influencers. I don't think it's everything that influencers should talk about, especially when they are being paid to talk about or funded. For example, an influencer might be somebody who has sexually assaulted women or has done something like that, and then an organization comes, you're trying to do stuff around gender-based violence, and you take that influencer who has a very horrible record with women to do something around sexual and gender-based violence. No, before you give a celebrity or an influencer a cause to pursue, ensure you understand what that person stands for. Before you just like get an armed robber to come and talk about anti-robbery, or a cultist to come and talk about anti-cultism. Meanwhile, they have not denounced. If it's a case, oh, this person was like this, we know the person has faced a certain level of accountability. The person has gone through some rehabilitation process, and we're using the person as a former perpetrator. It's okay, but they should not be the ones to just talk about everything, because they are not saints. Many of them are perpetrators of some of these social vices we talk about. So we should be careful what kind of causes we allow some of these influencers and celebrities to pursue for us, or to allow them to speak on. You never know if there are some survivors or victims under their rug that they are standing on to be the moral high ground to tell us about social issues. So I think they should be vetted before they talk about certain sensitive social issues. Remember when Mobad had that issue with, I don't know the guy's name, is it Naira Marley? And it was as if Naira Marley had nobody to, no, Mobad had no one to report to, because Naira Marley was made an ambassador for NDLEA, or one state government agency.
Sorry, Iyengi, we have just one more minute left.
Okay. So I'm just saying we should be careful how we give influencers and celebrities platforms to talk about certain sensitive issues. They can weaponize it against their victims. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Ingi, and thank you so much, Lovina, for joining me today on the show. So we've covered a lot today, and if there is one thing this conversation reminds us, it's that not everything is black and white. I mean, we've heard from the guests today. Social media has helped us, connect, learn, support causes, and even change lives. But it's also challenged us to think about why we do the things that we do, whether our actions online truly reflect who we are offline. Okay, so basically everything is about your intention. And again, a huge thanks to my guests Lovina and Iyengi for sharing your thoughts and perspectives with us this evening. And thank you for listening and be a part of this meaningful conversation on Dear Louie. Take care of yourselves, and we'll do this again on Thursday. Bye for now.
For the sound of home, we didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between.